Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Semnai. I hope you are doing great. I am sure majority of you are seeing videos coming out from Latino community. There is this woman who was almost arrested at Walmart. What happened? I think she's pregnant and her baby was in the car, and they were pointing PPU by eyes, like by eyes, and she was like, tensed up and all that. I am sure you all are seeing the danger of what you people voted for, because majority of you are very quick to tell me that I voted for him, but this is not what I voted for. Shut up. Because when you voted for him, this is all you voted for. All these things coming out. And already it is already in a policy that eyes can actually profile you. So this is one of the things Black people warn you all about, because they saw it in Project 2025 that they are going to give immunity to police. So now as you and I are speaking, eyes are the highest body now in United States, and they are doing what they can for their boss, and they are really working real overtime for their boss. But all I can tell you is that when you know that you have all your documents and all that, and they come around, start pointing that thing, it's just start screaming so that it can get attention. Because I think they are scared of attention. But this is what you voted for. Don't tell me this is not what you voted for. Let's get into this video.
Close your eyes for just a moment. I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine that you're a woman of color, and you're in a parking lot at Walmart. And while in this parking lot, you are surrounded by two masked men who do not identify themselves or present any authority to why they're questioning you. Add to the equation, they have guns. How would you feel? Would you feel safe? Well, open your eyes and watch the following video and tell me, what do you think in the comment section? Is this who we are now?
You from here? Yes, here. What country? Was you born here? Was you born here, ma'am? What country were you born in?
I promise you, one day soon, these chickens are going to come home to roost. Because when they made one mass, they didn't stop. And when these chickens come home to roost, I don't want to hear any gashing of teeth or any crying. Because these are the chickens that you put out into the field. Where did you expect them to come back to? And for all of you people who say you're just sitting out and doing nothing, understand there are only two sides in the fight for liberation. Those who are actively fighting for liberation, and those who either through their inaction or their actions support the oppressor. And you are entitled to everything the oppressor gets also. I think I hear some chickens clucking. Y'all have the day you deserve.
What country? Was you born here? Was you born here, ma'am?
This question is for like the dogmatic leftists. There's no lesser of two evils. A vote for Kamala is the exact same as voting for Donald Trump. Would that be happening if we had elected Kamala? Would that what we just watched, would that be happening in America right now if we had elected Kamala? Yeah, that's what I thought.
What country were you born in?
This is out of control. Masked men, two of them, descending on a woman with no warrant, judicial or administrative, and a barrage of questions for one reason only: she looks Hispanic. This is not law enforcement. This is harassment and prejudice and discrimination dressed up as law enforcement. Not even in the most relaxed interpretation you can give of the recent Supreme Court ruling that says that ICE can detain people based on the color of their skin or their language and their location. A decision, by the way, that will go down in history as one of the most unjust and unfair decisions out of the bench. Not even in the most relaxed and loose interpretation of that can this be justified? And yet she is targeted by Trump's private police because she's brown, because she's Hispanic, because she probably has an accent. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the result of the dehumanization process that this administration has planned and executed. Hispanic now equals undocumented, it equals unlawful, criminal, undesirable. It means targeted, wanted, hunted. And the hunter is an untrained, uneducated, masked man. But saddest of all, he's also cheered on by a segment large enough of this population that should have no place at all in a democratic society.
Watch this. Just watch this.
So, man, what's here? What country? Was you born here? Was you born here, man? What country was you born in?
We can't even go to the goddamn grocery stores anymore. Racially profiling in the parking lot. Trying to find somebody to throw on the ground like the big men they are. We all know it's about that big. Okay? You ain't fooling nobody. And I'm going to tell you what. White people, if we see this happening, we need to go and surround our brown or black friends. But look here, they starting to arrest white people too. We've seen the white citizens arrested. The lady that was in broadcasting, she was screaming, "I am a citizen." They didn't give a fuck. And ain't nothing gonna happen to them neither. So here's the thing. If nothing's gonna happen to them, we need to help each other. If we see this happening, don't let somebody stand there and get verbally abused, physically abused, or kidnapped by ICE. Fuck Trump, fuck ICE, and fuck.
This is what the media isn't showing you about ICE in Chicago. Pulling out a weapon on anyone who is not an immediate threat is wrong, but on a pregnant woman, I want some explanations. The world is downplaying what's happening with ICE in Chicago, but I want to show you a video that will change your mind. Watch this.
I'm beeping because there's a bunch of ICE agents running after someone. Sorry, I'm really shaking. And some ICE agent came up to my driver's side and he ended up pointing a gun at me. I am pregnant and my son's in the car. I wasn't doing anything wrong.
At what point is enough enough? This is getting out of hand, and if you do not see a problem with it, I don't know what could be wrong with you. These ICE operations have no morale. There's no restraint. There's no restrictions. The world needs to know what is going on in Chicago because it is not enough for me. The world is not loud enough about what's happening here. Share this message with someone who needs to see it. As always, stay safe in Chicago. And
Man, I don't want to hear that ICE is covering their face to protect their families. If you're out here doing the right thing and there's nothing you should be held accountable for, you shouldn't be hiding your face. As law enforcement, if you're hiding your face and your identity, is because somebody's giving you the authority to do the wrong thing and to do things that you can't get away with, because even if you get caught on CCTV, on CC camera, nothing's gonna happen to you because nobody knows who did it. That's why they hide their face. It's not because they're trying to quote unquote protect their families. It's not like ICE is locking up cartel members, or they're locking up El Chapo, or they're locking up a big kingpin who's gonna skip trace them and track them down and hunt them down. No, they're targeting people that have no resources, no connections whatsoever, who are not in that type of world. So please cut it out with the BS. These guys are masked up because they're given permission by the higher ups to do whatever they want to do at their disclosure, at their leisure, with no consequences. That's why. So even if they're caught on camera, it's going to be very, very difficult to hold them accountable. Most of these guys don't even have cameras like local law enforcement does. So it's going to be a time where local law enforcement is going to have to start arresting ICE for their antics. I'm not talking about the ICE members that are doing their job. There's a select few of them that, yes, they're doing their job. They're not hurting people. They're doing as they're told. They're following protocol, right? They're tracking whoever they got to track, doing surveillance on whoever they got to do surveillance on. But then there's the guys that, it's like a free fall. Whoever they see, they might think is the person, might not. Boom, they swing on them, hit them, slamming people. They don't care if it's kids or females. There's plenty of footage of it. You don't got to take my word for it. Look for the video yourself. Do your due diligence. This is not me rage baiting or nothing like that, but there's a lot of evidence on camera of them hurting innocent people even civilians getting under arrest until they find out otherwise, asking them a whole bunch of questions. Remember, you have the right to remain silent. We don't have to say nothing that can hinder us, hurt us, or be used against us in court. That's why you have the right to remain silent. So I don't want to hear people saying, oh, you should have answered the question, you should have complied. You don't have to comply. That's why you got the right to remain silent, because you might say the wrong thing the wrong way and you still might get locked up. And then that could be used against you in court. Oh, well, he said this, so I used this against him, and that's why I locked him up. You know, some people, well, a lot of people out here, if you go under arrest, depending on what kind of job you have, if you have a federal job, you could lose your job. If you have a government job, you could lose your job. If you're licensed, you could lose your license. Your license will get suspended. If you have a certain type of gig where you can't really be absent without giving them a certain amount of notice, you could lose those type of jobs. You could lose almost every single job just for having an arrest record in the first place when you were not even supposed to be locked up, because you're violating your constitutional rights, right? A lot of you guys don't know about your constitutional rights, and you really don't care if they get violated. So you're okay with that, and you think other people should be okay with that. We should just comply. Lay down and comply. Just, you know, they ask you questions, just answer it. You know, they tell you lay down, lay down. They tell you go walk, take a walk, you take a walk. Take a hike, you take a hike. It's not like that, unfortunately. Some of us out here, we know our laws, we know our rules, and we know what can be done and what can't be done. Just like you know what can, you have to know what else can't. Know your rights. A lot of you guys don't care about your rights. Anyways, that's just my opinion on it, because I see a lot of people are divided. And, you know, I am in agreement. So, yeah, get the criminals out of here. But everybody who's illegal is not a criminal. Now, there is a lot of illegals that are criminals, but just like there's a lot of criminals, there's also a lot of hardworking people that came here and are trying to do the right thing. Now, if we knew that this was going to be an issue, which obviously we knew, I feel like the Biden administration should have never allowed so many people to come in here when they knew that it was eventually going to become an issue, right? So it's like, who do you blame, right? Me personally, I blame like the immigration issue had been an issue way before the Biden administration came in, but the Biden administration just enhanced it further. They were just letting everybody come in. See, that I don't agree on. I don't agree and just let everybody come in. No paperwork, no background checks. They were letting criminals in, people from prisons and mental health institutions and from all over come in. See, that I am not in agreement on. You know what I mean? And those guys who are committing crimes, if you have some type of record and they come outside, or, you know, they go to a hotel, because they have these asylum hotels where they're housing them. So it's very contradicting. It's like you don't want them here, but then you have hotels in the city, in Manhattan. You have hotels that are housing them, giving them housing, right? You're giving them housing. They're undocumented. So if that's the case, why doesn't ICE just go to these you know, shelters where they're seeking asylum? That's like, bro, you don't gotta harass civilians. You know where they're at. They're literally staying in hotels. So as I was mentioning, ICE has the entire directory of where these guys are staying, where everybody's staying. They have literally addresses of these seeking asylum locations. So they don't have to be wandering around in the streets and just, you know, targeting random people. You know exactly where they're staying, because they're staying in government-funded buildings, right? So with that being said, that's just my thoughts on it. Criminals, if you're a criminal, you know, send them away. And another thing, right? You're locking up all these migrants that are doing all these crimes, but then when they get out of jail, why don't you just directly deport them? But instead of deporting them, they're just putting them back into society, and then they want to play the mouse and cat game and then start looking for them. That's very, like, hypocritical. You know what I mean? Like, why release them? Why even send them to prison and waste our tax dollars in the first place, right? You know, and then we wasted millions of dollars, you know, with housing and giving them free food and free this and free shelters and all these free resources we were giving them, all in vain, to just turn around and deport them. So what I'm saying is it's very contradicting. Why bring them if you're gonna want to send them back anyway? It just never makes sense to allow them to come in the first place. That's my thoughts on it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, allow people to come in with due process, the legal way, so then they don't have any issues. But, you know, if you go to any other country that's not the United States, whether it's Europe, Italy, Germany, India, Pakistan, they're gonna send your ass right back. So as they catch you, they sending you right back. You go to the UK, they sending you right back. You go anywhere else that's not the US, they're gonna send you right back. So I feel like a lot of people feel entitled, like we're supposed to just allow everybody to come in. Again, I'm not defending the migrant criminals. What I'm not doing is I'm not condoning the behavior of some of these rogue ICE agents that are just behaving viciously and maliciously and causing harm to innocent civilians and innocent people that aren't even doing no harm. They just, they're just here working and paying their taxes. So with that being said, I feel like they just have to use a different strategy. And like the ones that are just doing whatever they want and hurting people and, physically harming people and, swearing and just, belittling people, I feel like those are the ones that should be fired. Some of these guys should actually be arrested. Females and men both, that are using that uniform to take advantage of the migrants because they know who they're going to report it to, right? It's like they're treating them like they're less than a dog. You don't even treat a dog like that. So that's my thoughts. For the ones that are doing the right thing, all right, salute to you, you're doing your job. But you shouldn't have to cover your face if you're doing your job the right way and you're doing what you're supposed to do. The reason these guys are allowed to hide their face is because they got a free pass. They got a green pass that's giving them the green light to do whatever it is they want, whenever they want, however they want, and there's zero accountability. There's no accountability. This is exactly why. And people say, oh, why do the protesters wear masks? Well, they wear masks because when you go to these protests, they throw tear gas, they be throwing rubber bullets and all types of stuff, right? So it's not just to hide their identity. Again, the protesters, they're protesters. They're not professionals in uniform. The ones that have to act professional are the guys who swore to the badge, the ones that are really in the custom systems, the guys and females who really work for ICE. Not these imposters that wear masks that they're given a pass to and they get subcontracted as bounty hunters to do the job that ICE does. A lot of these guys wearing these masks, they're not even real law enforcement. Just know that. And ICE is not police, they're immigration. All right? Let me know your thoughts. Peace and love. One.
This is all I got from this video. They actually know the answer. They absolutely know the answer. That if he were Kamala Harris, this wouldn't have happened. But I am sure everybody is seeing what is going on. And this happened in Chicago. This is actually very recent. This is not far, long time ago. This is how many days? Maybe last week that this happened. Right? Sometimes when you see, I understand what has been going on with ICE and all that. But I am sure you all can see the people you voted in. Because each time I see people saying this was not what I voted and all that, Especially the ones that will come and tell you, I know I voted for this, but this is not what I voted for this month, but this is not why. This is also what you voted for. A woman that is pregnant with a child in the car and all that, and started pointing on the person. This is what you voted for. And this is what I am sure you all that voted, I hope you all are great. You hope you all are happy. Hope life is going great with you. Even the pro-Palestinians that said that that they want to take credit for her losing the election, and I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you all are okay. Because one thing that I have noticed with majority of you is that if opportunity were given to you to vote again, you guys will still vote against your own interest and still come back to blame black people, because black people has always been the people you all channel your energy towards. And you people channel your energy towards black people, but you cannot use the same energy that you push towards black people to come out and do something, or to come out and do something great for yourself. Some will say, oh, see, one thing I know for sure is that you see Latinos in every, I'm sorry to say this, but In every Latino homes or relations, there are 2 to 5 persons that voted for this administration. And then the audacity you have had to come out to say black people are not, I don't know who actually gave you people that audacity, the strength and the zeal to come out and say black people are not helping us. Like, are you guys that shameless that you didn't see what you did? And all of a sudden, black people became the bad people because they said, I am no longer coming out. I need to rest. Anyways, I don't have anything to say, but actually what it's going on is it's not great. It is not looking great. It is bad. And this should stop. People masking around and harassing people. Anyways, what can I say? It has actually been signed into politics that they can actually go around profiling people. The best you can do when they come to start profiling you is to start screaming, stand your ground, especially when you know that you have your documents and you are stand your ground and give it back to them. But it is also scary that somebody is coming to you with pointing at you. This is what you all voted for. And you want my people to come out to fight for you. When your legs are not broken, you have legs. Go and fight for yourself. Bye for now.